sport do you think of when you think of the Olympics? Many people may say gymnastics or swimming or track and field. However, I direct your attention to water polo, the first team sport ever introduced into the Olympics in 1900. However, the women were not introduced until 100 years later in the year 2000. According to the official Olympic water polo page, Hungary has always dominated the field in the men's sport. However, in Rio 2016, the USA women's water polo team ran away with gold. When water polo is described, it's most thought of as hockey, in the water, with a ball, and you can't touch the ground. Pretty much the same thing, right? Water polo is played with 4 7 to 8 minute quarters, so 7 minutes in high school, 8 minutes in the Olympics, with opponents switching at half. So if you're playing outside and the sun's shining in one goalie's eyes, switching at half ensures that both teams have an equal advantage. The objective is to shoot the ball into a net that is similar to a soccer goal, just slightly smaller and floating in the water. This is accomplished by players passing the ball back and forth and making drives in order to get near the opponent's goal. So this is what a pool looks like in water polo. This is the goal line. This is half tank, as we call it. This is the 2 meter line, and this is the 5 meter line. If you are on offense, you are not allowed to go in this 2 meter line without the ball unless the ball is already in the 2 meter. There are 6 players on the field and 1 player tending to goal. The positions are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 and 5 are known as wings. 2 and 4 are known as flats. 3 is known as point, as it creates a nice little point right here. And number 6 has multiple different names. Sometimes it's called center or whole set or middle. Most of the action does occur right here, as most passes come in because this is the best position in the pool to shoot from. During the game, there's a number of fouls that can be called. An ordinary foul is indicated with 1 blow of the whistle, and that's called when a player is impeding the free movement of another player, and this information is coming from USA Water Polo. After an ordinary foul has been called, that person can either make a free pass, or if they're outside of this 5 meter line, they can pick the ball up and shoot it. A major foul, often holding or sinking, is often called an exclusionary foul because that person must swim to the side of the pool and is excluded from the play for 20 seconds. This shifts how the offense and defense are set up. Brutality can be called if an official believes that another player is intentionally trying to injure another player and that person is excluded for the entirety of the game. A penalty foul is a major foul awarded. A penalty foul is awarded when a major foul is committed in front of the cage and the referee believes that a goal is imminent. So if that foul had not occurred, the person with the ball most likely would have scored. This shot is taken on the 5 meter line, 1-on-1 with the goalie, and it's similar to a penalty kick in soccer. There are many types of shots utilized in the game. A lob resembles a rainbow and is often used when a goalie is falling from treading up. A skip shot is a high-power shot aimed at the water that skips off the water and into the net. You can also use just a strong shot just up into the net. However, this does require a considerable amount of strength. Oftentimes a fake is utilized in order to get the goalie to bite or to get the defense to come to you. You go like this, you fake it, and so the goalie believes that you're going to shoot, and then you can continue passing around. A wet shot is used when a player has a defender close on their back, and they don't want to bring the ball back into a vulnerable position right here, so they keep it in front of them, and they can screw the ball, it's called a screw ball, into the net, or a tee shot where they serve it up and hit it. And that's called a tee shot. Movement is essential in water polo, and that's why drives are so common. You could have a triangle drive where the 1, 2, and 3 positions all rotate, trying to either draw an exclusion or find an open player. You could have a cross drive where 2 and 4 drive at the same time, meeting in the middle, hoping to cross their defenders and draw an exclusion. Though water polo is most popular in California, it's gaining popularity in Washington State. There are programs for all ages, starting with elementary age kids playing splash ball, which is a more rudimentary version of water polo, to master's programs that allow individuals of all ages to continue playing water polo. According to Score Stream Incorporated, there are dozens of high school water polo teams that compete every year for the coveted Washington State championship. The boys event has been dominated by Curtis High School for the past a lot of years, and the girls title has been more of a fight between Gig Harbor and Curtis. However, Curtis this year was on top, so Curtis are reigning high school state champions. Every year, thousands of boys and girls compete at Junior Olympics in water polo in California to remind everyone why water polo was the first sport played in the Olympics. Thank you.